Well, I guess the carnage that's there absolutely destroyed my front steering knuckles. Gone. Looks like I'll have to get some GPM ones for that. Everything else held up just fine.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be going over my Traxxas UDR build. Now, if you guys have been following my channel for quite some time, you'll know that the Traxxas UDR is my favorite RC car that I have in my collection, and I always run by the motto, don't replace anything until something breaks. Well, I've had this truck for a little over 2 years now, and I think it's time that I finally gave it a much needed overhaul, even though nothing really broke on it. For the past 2 years, I kept this pretty much basic stock with only upgrading the servo and a couple other small pieces along the way. But to be honest with you, over the 2 years that I had this and bashed it, nothing really broke on it. It's probably the most durable truck from Traxxas that I've ever owned, aside from my Traxxas Stampede. But other than that, nothing really broke on it. I'm actually quite impressed by it. Everything held up. It's a great vehicle. I believe it's actually one of Traxxas's best vehicles that they've ever made, and I really wanted to give it something that it really deserved and make it something that I could take out and have it really be a shelf queen, but also a real good basher out the sand dunes, the woods, the street, whatever possible. Starting off with the wheels, I upgraded to the Vidavon RC wheels. These are very expensive. They're not cheap. They're about 50 bucks per wheel. They get them in packs of 2. You can get them from Amazon Prime, or you can get them from Vidavon directly, and there's a couple other stores out there that sell them as well. For the body, I ended up going with another Traxxas style body here. This is one of 3 different configurations that you can get. You can either get the red Rigid Industries, you can get the blue Method body, or you can get the orange Fox body, which is what I ended up choosing right here. I ended up taking all the graphics off of it and then ended up putting my own ones on. We'll do a quick walk around. I'll show you all the different graphics that I do have on this vehicle. I ended up printing most of these as a custom, and then some I got in a sticker sheet from Shreddy Life, and then a couple other places as well online. The main sponsor scheme I went with on this was to represent some of my favorite companies in the off-road industry. Black Rifle Coffee Company, obviously my favorite coffee company, but then I also had to represent Shreddy Life. I've been a fan of theirs since day one, own multiple of their clothing items and all the different accessories, as you've probably seen me wearing in the videos. I am supporting Blake Wilkie with Wilkie Works, Rigid Industries, King Shocks, and I don't give a spoiler on it yet, but I spent a lot of time on those shocks, but we'll jump to that a little bit later on. Also have Terror Crew up here, Urban Assault 3 again, supporting Shreddy Life, Heatwave Visual, and then Method race wheels as well, which is what the Vidavon wheels kind of more closely resemble of what their design is supposed to be. That's it for the body. The only other thing I did was add some custom 3D printed top skid plates on here, because as you may have known, that when you own a Traxxas UDR and it flips over, the body is completely exposed. So this is just going to add some skid protection to the top in case that does happen. Let's pop the hood and let's see what's underneath. With the body now off, we can really see where the beauty of this truck comes into play. I took no expense to everything that I did for this truck. I tried to make it basically the same as it did when it came off of the shelf as to what you see right now, even 2 years down the road. I completely dismantled every single bolt and screw on this vehicle and repainted everything to a semi-gloss black texture and finish on this vehicle, and I think it just came out looking absolutely awesome, especially with the orange accents I did here in order to match the body. As far as upgrades go, I didn't add that many upgraded parts to this vehicle because, as I mentioned before, nothing really was broke on it. Actually, nothing was broke on it. I basically just added parts to where I wanted some extra structural integrity to them, where they might break down the road, and just some extra parts just to add a little bit more bling to it, as you could say. Starting off in the front of the vehicle, I did a couple of modifications. The main thing that you're going to see is obviously the shocks, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I also added some new GPM anodized orange tie rods, and then some CNC aluminum upper and lower control arms. The original ones were pretty beat up, they're pretty beefy, they're injection molded plastic, so I just wanted to keep it a nice clean look in the front, so I ordered these from GPM and they absolutely look stellar. Now let's get into the actual shocks themselves. In my opinion, it's the favorite part of the vehicle for me, and what I did is I actually kept the exact same shocks that came with the vehicle. I upgraded to the aluminum King suspension shock caps on this, which is my favorite brand of suspension in real life. I also added some custom stickers to them. Those were very difficult to find, but I was able to find somebody on AliExpress that was able to sell those for me. So I'll leave a link down in the description box below for those stickers and anything else that you see in this vehicle. Another thing that you're going to notice too is that I painted the shock retentioners on the top and bottom. Not a perfect match of the blue, but still, it looks pretty good from a little bit far away. It's only when you get close up that you kind of notice that the colors are off. And then I also just upgraded the shock springs to the Traxxas GTR springs. Didn't really change any shock oil weight or anything like that, just more of a cosmetic look to it. Moving on to the rear of the vehicle, I did the exact same thing with the rear shocks, and they look absolutely perfect. I am absolutely amazed by how they turned out and they looked. And then I also added in a set of anodized orange GPM rear shock towers, and I think that it just looks absolutely amazing. Again, nothing was wrong with the stock ones. I just wanted something with a little bit more bling to it. I love the CNC aluminum look of things on a vehicle, and I believe that it kind of just separates it from the rest of the vehicle from it being all black. Other than that, I added in some GPM shock limiting straps. Nothing too special or crazy about that. The original ones are made out of a high density rubber, and they start to crack and fade over time. So I just opted for these cheap ones. I believe they're only about 15 bucks online. Flipping over the vehicle, nothing really changed below here. I'm still running the stock trailing arms, and then I also upgraded to the Traxxas rear links, a little bit beefier, and they're in black, and the old ones rust way too easily, so I had to swap those out. As you're going to see on the bottom of the vehicle, I opted for the GPM motor mount fan. I don't really know if that was absolutely needed for this, but I had some extra money to spend, and since I'm going to be running this out in the dunes, I don't want the motor to overheat or anything like that, so I ended up throwing that on there. I got to do some tests on it to see if it's actually needed. Other than that, I did upgrade the servo on here, and that is going to be running a EcoPower WP110S servo on here, the best in the market, and that is who I am directly affiliated with as a brand ambassador for. So in the end, there's not too many modifications done to this truck, but it is a definite upgrade to what it was from stock. I made it exactly how I wanted it to be for my liking, and I do believe that there are some modifications on here that you can do as well in order to upgrade your truck to make it stand out from others. That is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit the like down below and consider subscribing. And if you guys got any questions about this, please feel free to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys again for stopping in, and enjoy the rest of your day.